Hi, my name's Brenda Erler, and I'm the author of the book Learning to Be You. It's an inside job recovery and healing for the loved ones of the substance addicted. And I wrote this book because I was married to a substance addicted individual. And so I called myself a codependent. And I learned a lot when he became clean and sober. So after writing the book, I wrote all sorts of articles, and I have one that I want to share with you that I think that you'll enjoy. It's called Eight Ways to Positively Believe Yourself Off the Diet Roller Coaster. Now, originally when I wrote it, it was seven ways, but I've discovered a new way. So I included it in this article that we're going to talk about today, and I think you're going to really like it. I want to start with the foundation. So the foundation is this is it comes from the book Psycho-Cybernetics. It was actually written in 1960, so it's old, but the information is it's amazing if we can understand that and to bring this into our life, we could change our life so easy. And so let me just share a little bit about what Maxwell Maltz, the author of Psycho-Cybernetics, said. He suggests that our subconscious is a servo mechanism operating off of data input by our thoughts with no judgment of that data. The data input can be positive or negative, both are acted on equally. So, all of the things that you've experienced and believe in life, they're driving your life. And we may not really know what they are because of the fact that they're in our subconscious. Now, in yoga, we call these samskaras or karmic impressions. So the thing that would be good is to discover what those are and begin to change them. Now, I say positive and negative in here, but I don't even like the words positive and negative because everything it actually makes us who we are today. We might not enjoy the things that are happening, but when we look back on some of our experiences, we realize that they made us who we are today. Like me being married to an alcoholic, it made me who I am today. And I'm so grateful for that. So at the time, of course, I absolutely hated it. Let's start with my eight ways. We'll start with the first one. The first one is to accept us for who we are. Now, just realize another thing that is so important is we project how we believe about ourselves. And so people know it about us. So if we are subconscious about our own body, like our body, that comes out to everyone around us, and that can affect us because of the fact that those people will react back to us. They will mirror what we are thinking about ourselves. They'll come back with that. So try to learn to accept who you are, exactly like you are, whoever you are, wherever you are. It's not this outside thing that matters, of course. It's all the internal stuff, and we're going to work on that and learn more about ourselves, become higher frequency beings. So it's all good stuff. So if we can accept ourselves for who we are, that's my number one. And remember, we're all a part of Source. We all have that little bit of us inside that is perfect, absolutely perfect. My second one is say positive affirmations. And of course, I got this from Dr. Dyer in his book Real Magic and Louise Hay. I don't have Dr. Dyer's book. Right? Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. They both believe in affirmations. Dr. Dyer says just say it until you believe it. And I feel like I do, and I have for years. But the problem with that is we still have these subconscious beliefs that we talked about from psycho-cybernetics that are buried. And so we can say uh, positive affirmations all we want, but as long as we have those beliefs and experiences that are buried in our subconscious, that is what drives our life. positive affirmations will do one thing for it. If we start to say, you're wonderful, I love you, you might end up getting what Julia Cameron in her book, um, The Artist's Way, she calls them blurts. And that's when you say something positive about yourself and your subconscious comes up with, but no, that's not true. And she calls them blurts. And I call them disabling beliefs. So you can start with the positive affirmations and see if they will bring up some of the things that you truly believe about yourself that are buried in your subconscious. And once you find those things, you can begin to change them from the the uncomfortable part to something more joyful and peaceful. Okay, and so my third one, we'll go on with the article. So my third suggestion in this 8 ways is say no to dieting. Now, and the main reason I say this is because you can send a mixed message. If we're putting in our servo mechanism, the best way to do it is to rather than diet and say I need to lose weight, I'm so much overweight. See, those are all things that you're burying in your beliefs and experiences about yourself. When the best way would be to figure out a weight that you want to be. So for me, it'd be I weigh 130, and then begin to believe that. And stop with this. I shouldn't eat that, or I might as well take that and glue it to my hips. Those kind of statements. So not good, really. So when I say no to dieting, I just mean let's stop with that. I have to lose weight. I need to lose weight. Maybe go to a little deeper place and ask yourself, what can I do to change the way I feel about my weight? What can I do to be 1/3, 130 pounds? Or maybe just say, I weigh 130 pounds and try to believe it. Begin to believe it. And once you believe it, what can happen is you don't want to eat the things that are going to put weight on. Your metabolism might kick in. Who knows for sure what happens? But I actually practiced this back when I wrote this article. I would, at that point, I think I wanted to weigh 115, and I had been on every diet. And I started to say that the affirmation that I weighed 115, I weighed 115, and things changed. I didn't want to eat that second maple bar, and I didn't want that second helping. It really did make a difference. So that is my second one, say no to dieting. Okay, my fourth one is an easy one, is stop when you're full. I mean, we have this thing about we've got to eat everything on our plate and try and get over that. Because our parents, have put that probably in our minds. You've got to finish everything on your plate before you can leave. So try, and if you're full, go ahead and leave that little bit. Leave some, leave some. Okay. And then my fifth one is eat only when you're hungry. If it's dinner time and you're not hungry, you don't need to, unless you have obligations. But so eat when you're hungry, don't when you're not, even if it's breakfast, lunch, dinner. Okay. Oh, the number 6, that stop saying the negative things about yourself. That I shouldn't eat this and I shouldn't eat that. I mean, back when I wrote this article, I was working and I would go down to the cafeteria. And I would hear everybody saying that around the cafeteria. Oh, I shouldn't eat that. Okay, well, if you shouldn't, if you're under doctor's orders not to, then other than that, don't say it, because it's that you're putting those beliefs and experiences back in those samskaras. You're just building them back up. Okay, number 7. Oh, ask your body, what am I supposed to learn from this experience? And maybe just ask yourself, what can I do? Start to believe that if you ask, that you might find an answer, that you'll get that intuition that's actually out there. You actually have it. We all have intuition. And if you ask, maybe you'll get that intuitive idea that's going to change your life. Okay, my eighth one, this is the new one. It's visualize your perfect body. And this actually came from John Gabriel in his book, The Gabriel Method. Now, I don't have a copy of the book, but so if you get his book, he has a picture of himself before and then as he lost weight. And he did not have any loose skin at the end because he visualized his perfect body. So I thought that was so good. And I actually listened to John Gabriel's recordings on healing and visualization, and I do it myself. Yeah. And so, with that said, I would just like to tell you thank you so much for joining me. And I hope this bit of information is helpful to you. And I'm going to put a link to this article if you want to read the whole thing, and a link to these books that we've talked about today. And please join me for other videos that I'm putting out on my channel. My channel is called Yoga Teacher Finds Answers. I have my 500-hour certification. I teach yoga weekly. I do guided meditation. I have students that we do guided meditation via Zoom. Maybe one day you'll join me not in that. Thank you so much for listening to me today. And I'll just say what Greg Braden, I got this from Greg Braden. Put your thumbs to your breastbone and slow your breathing and feel gratitude, appreciation, care, or love for anyone or anything. Thank you for joining me.